Wednesday, August 27th, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich. Still working on the October low report. And if you want that detailed report, graphics, statistics over a 30-year, well, since 1993, I believe, when it started to trade, the SPY, then just simply ask for it through info@ersignals.com, and I'll be more than happy to send it to you. It may take me another week or so. Now, we're still up against a resistance line. I know we're getting stronger. I know the damn thing doesn't act like it's turning bearish, but that's exactly when it catches people by surprise. Now, if it closes above, for example, today's high, which is for all practical purposes the test of the all-time high, which was only a couple of weeks ago, that's going to cause another shot up, probably a couple of strong days. Again, if it closes above the high that was made on, let's get it here, August 15th, and that price was 65, call it 65.10, 65.09, but 10's good and plus. Then I'd be expecting a sharp rally, more of it. Now, we could get over that price during the day, and if it closed badly, especially if it was some kind of a reversal, then that's pretty bearish after making new historic highs and closing lousy. Hasn't happened. I've got to look both ways. Again, a close above the yellow line or a new historical high ground would cause me to be bullish for a few days and maybe a bit more. Hard to tell. But this is the price area, price range from approximately, well, let's call it yesterday's lows, especially last week's lows that are support. And then there's more of it below that at around 243. That's the ultimate. If that does not hold, we're in for the break into the October lows. Almost certainly no guarantees in this business, of course. So I've got to have some weakness. Immediately, I've got to have it start to slip. I've got to see some significantly lower closes and some lower lows real quickly here. 5-minute chart, strength on the close, essentially, and then a little bit of whiplash. After that. Now, and that was the 5-minute chart. We got the spider. This is a new historic high close right around the previous high, which was only a few days ago at 646.50. Today's close is officially 646.63, barely above the previous highs, but above them. So this could be starting something. I have to see a bearish reversal and something significant awful quickly, or I'm looking for a couple of days up. Tough call here. Next, 5-minute chart coming up. Then we've got the QQQ. It could be making a top. The timing would be perfect if it was today as far as the high is concerned. It would be a small head and shoulder top if we started to go down right away. That's in line with the comments I've made about the other indexes if they would start to come down right away. Remains to be seen, obviously. I know what to look for. It's not happening yet. And if it does start to happen, you heard it here first, so to speak. Maybe not, but whatever. Strong close. Now we're looking at the NASDAQ futures, the same thing as the QQQ for all practical purposes. There's very minor differences. And it also could be forming a head and shoulder top, but you've got to start to go down right away. And no significant strength from here. NQ, sideways. YM was overbought a few days ago, touched a resistance area and coming up back up toward it. Might top out. We're not quite close to overbought as much as I would have hoped. I can't really tell. But what we've got is a new high a few days ago on a strong close. Resistance, overbought. Pull back to support yesterday's lows. Closed decently and gained more ground today. Now that's acting friendly. That's not acting particularly bearish. Complicated. 5-minute chart of the YM. And then we'll go to the Russell. New high close in a very, very broad area of resistance. But it is significant that it's now well above the resistance line that it stopped it on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. So that's gone, and now becomes support. So we could rally up a little bit more here without doing anything majorly bullish, long-term, or bearish either. Just come up into this resistance area more. But above that, that would be profoundly bullish long-term. Now, but that's quite a ways away. The Russell, can't say anything different here. It's just the same as obviously the Russell daily data chart, just climbing. And now let's go to bonds. Bonds closed a little lower, but quite a bit off their lows. And approximately the lows of 1307, a couple days later, 1308, give or take a tick. And then a little higher, then back down to 1312. Then we got 1316. And then we got back down a little bit to 1316 again, and today 1315. That's a lot of closings. I got lows. I got 6 of them out of the 8 last days that are within a relatively narrow range and obviously support surfacing and a little maybe 10-tick zone or something. I don't think it's going to hold. I think they're going to get broken. There's a lot of stops below the lows of the last 8 days or so of trading layered in there. I still think it's going to come down to this old bull trend line around the lows that it's made about 4 times now since January. Period. Therefore, I cannot trust the rally at the moment on the 10-year notes, which is nice. You realize this is a new high close since, wow, I've got to go all the way back to my bearish engulfing, which was the top of the market at the time on April 7th. This is the highest close since April 7th. That's saying something. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 highs that are at or a little bit above where we are. Resistance, intermediate, long term, right in here. So, not overbought though. Will it stall out and have another correction? Because I'm not particularly fond of any significant upside strength in interest rate futures at this point. I'm going to say yes, I do expect a correction. Next, crude oil. Up a little, bouncing off support, very minor amount. We're starting to get between a rock and a hard spot. Anything above 67.5 has stopped the rally up to 69.5. And then on the downside, the support area has held very nicely in the last couple of weeks. So maybe some short-term strength, but there's no major upside-downside breakout here. I'm still a little bit bearish longer term because of the fantastic bearish engulfing. A whopper. I'm sure I made a point out of that on the day it happened, June 23rd. Now, I've got the complex head and shoulder top on the natural gas that is not violating any rules whatsoever. It might even go up a little bit more for another couple of days. Not a lot, and not for very long. And I wouldn't be surprised to see new lows, maybe even by the end of the week or next week, certainly. Next, steady close on heating oil, slightly lower low. Resistance stopped the rally, although it wasn't overbought. And we're coming back. We're between a rock and a hard spot in here. I got to get a close below 2.18 and already have some significant downside follow-through that would be worthwhile talking about. Or if we close above the highs of the last few days, 2 or 3 days, we could rally up a little bit more, but I don't see anything super bullish about it. Rock and a hard spot. Next, gold up a little bit more, and it is absolutely between the spot and a hard spot and a rock. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, approximately 14 tops in the resistance zone, a little bit above the market. And we've got a whole mess of them also in the support area, a little bit below the market. So I have to wait. Next, silver. This could be a top formation. I just have to see more weakness, and I would outline it. You do have a couple of little high on the rally right there. So overbought, slipped off. You do have a couple of highs over here also. And the highest highs are twosome. That's nice. Quite symmetrical, actually. Well, okay, I'll draw it in now. So this is the, oh, I did this before, and what they did to change contract months on me. Sorry, there's the neckline, there's the support, and this one also should go up to right about there. Yeah, good. So top formation building, big question mark. Stay tuned. What about platinum? There's no shoulder on the left. Not worth talking about that possibility at all. Just between a lot of resistance stopping it many times here in the last month or so. God, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times in a month? Wow. Okay, so I'm looking for lower lows. The resistance is still persisting. It may take a little time. What about copper after the crash? Biggest down day in history, I believe, percentage-wise, price-wise, etc. July 30th. Tried to get up and away. Couldn't break out. No new highs. I should raise this up a little bit, I believe. Yep, that's a little bit better. Sorry. And this is also, because we changed contract months, all of these lines should have been raised some. The same amount, though. Okay, so and this is also, come on. Good. There we go. Bearish. New low close for 5 days or so. Not just 5, but probably closer to 15. Made new lows, almost for the whole damn trend down. Bounce back, not good enough. I'm looking for new lows pretty quickly. Grain complex is a different story. I've got some reasons to believe that the grain markets could be building some longer-term significant bottoms that may last for, well, a year or 2 or 3. A lot of lows in the same zone have held. This is soybeans. We've overcome some recent rally highs the last month or so pretty darn quickly in the start, which was immediately after our first bullish engulfing buy signal on August 11th. That was great. And the next day, just as great. Then we had a false sell signal. When those happen and you start making new highs and kill the signal, you could carry through pretty good. Now, so far was not so good. A bit, yes. Coming back into a little support, sort of. And it didn't do damn thing today. So I'm waiting. But I'm going up, I think. Going up. And they could get a lot more bullish as overhead resistance gets overcome. And that goes for pretty much all of the grains. Soybean oil has already broken out on June 16th of a head and shoulder bottom formation. Actually, it was a double shoulder, head and shoulder bottom. Shoulder number 1, 2. Head 3, 4, 5. Last inside shoulder or outside shoulder. Neckline, break. Again, closed over it in a fine fashion, a classic bullish gap breakout situation. Getting overbought and high volume and all the good stuff on June 16th. Tested support. Came up into resistance. That's halfway to the minimum objective of 62.62 already. Then came all the way back to the support area, and just a couple of days ago I had a bullish engulfing green. Wow, if there couldn't have been a better spot for that to happen, is right smack at the neckline. So all we have to do is maintain closes above that neckline and start to make new highs. And I think we're going to do that the next several days. Now, soybean meal, minor new low, last couple of days. But the important thing is it did get overbought and it bumped into resistance. And so this is a little 3-day so far, relatively modest downside correction that could carry a little bit further. I think 50% retracement is not out of the reach, but I'd like to see less. And sooner the better, starting to close inside this resistance above 398. That's going to look even more bullish because then you're overcoming other layers of resistance as you continue to climb, which I think it would. So the key here is a close above 298, and we could suffer a little bit of a dip in the meantime. Next, corn had a bullish engulfing almost on the exact low day. The day this rally started, that's good enough. Now a little correction also, like the others, not damaging anything on a longer term basis. I like what I see. Oh, I didn't draw this before. This is going to look interesting. Does this, no, it doesn't. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, so I'm going to do that and then take the beginning of it and turn it up. Well, I shouldn't have that line in the first place. Hang on. Kill that thing, and I'm going to go with a different line. And I'm going to start up here, and that crosses. Oh, actually, it's pretty good. Yeah. All right. So a major bear trend line with a minor little exception right there. Starting, proof, proof, proof. Not too bad. A little below. Now we've broken it on a closing basis with a big, big up day a few days ago. This line would continue to drop down a little bit more down to about there. And that's where today's low approximately is. Interesting. So this could turn around right away and start to rally because it's now testing from above a previous pretty good bear trend line. Next, wheat. Bullish engulfing at the bottom of the move to the exact day so far. Now this is the lowest close since the bullish engulfing. So I'm not out of the realm of expectation, but I need to have it turn up right away. This one is the closest to having some kind of a failure, but it hasn't so far. And we go to a stock, Shell. Resistance stopping the rally. Outside trading range, but it did close 6 cents, basically unchanged, higher. Resistance stopping the rally. I think we could start a move down here in a resistance area because you came into it from below, so it's resistance. If we'd come into this area from above, it would be support. So, waiting for new highs or lows. Tesla, new high slightly again, not trusting it very much. I'm looking for the support line to get broken, maybe with a very large, big down day. That wouldn't surprise me. And then the next level of support might be 291 and a quarter. And then the next one would be these lows, 273 and a third. There's an old gap to close. Don't forget those old gaps at 244. All of them are not out of the question, especially, of course, the most important, 213.70. That's the lowest low for the year. Next. Bullish engulfing, okay. It's working. NVIDIA. Next day up, Monday. Tuesday up. Today we lost a little bit, nickel. So, no reversal. Just a little bit of resistance from the previous highs a couple, 3 weeks ago. Let's see what happens if it can get above or attacks the highest high. And if it turns down, if we get any kind of reversal, this is a precarious price level. Either it's going to blast off or it's going to flip. Next, MES is the beginning again. You guys have a great day and profitable trading to you.